Good morning, good morning. Good morning to Not Your Journey to Take, Early Morning Sip and Chat. My name is Keisha Mason Campbell. I'm the author of Not Your Journey to Take, and I teach women that no is a complete sentence, and I show them how to establish healthy boundaries with their families while putting their needs first. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to thank you for watching me live and for watching the replay. And I do apologize about the nasalness. The weather is changing. So with the weather changing, allergies begin to work overtime. So I want to thank you for joining me. I have lemon ginger tea this morning. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, thank you for joining me for Not Your Journey to Take, Early Morning Sip and Chat. My name is Keisha Mason Campbell. I am the author of Not Your Journey to Take, and I teach women that no is a complete sentence, and I show them how to establish healthy boundaries with their families while putting their needs first. So let's hop into it. So last week we talked all about setting some of our goals as boundaries, or setting some of our boundaries as goals, right? As the new year come in, we decide we want to do all these things. We make all these plans. We have New Year's resolutions, which I don't agree with. I think they're temporary. Goals, I absolutely agree with. And I suggested that you set a couple of your boundaries as your goals. That way, if you don't obtain them in the time that you say, you will obtain them because you have time, because you can continue to change the finish line, right? And you can set steps to those goals. So one of the goals we should have set, which in our boundaries, right? Some of the goals that we should have set should have been boundaries. In that, this week, we were testing those boundaries, testing them. So the boundaries that we set last week as goals, we're testing at least one of those boundaries this week. So I'm wondering, how did that go over with you? How are you feeling about that? Are you getting any pushback? Are you getting people feeling like, oh, wow, you telling me no? Because that is going to happen. That is almost inevitable. That is absolutely going to happen. But that's okay. That's okay, because you're changing things. And most people don't like change. Most people don't adapt to change well, especially if the change is telling them no or not right now. Sorry. But what you'll do is you'll continue to sit in that. You'll continue to take care of that. You'll continue to nurture you first. Lead by example. Because as you lead by example, you can lead by example by not intentionally leading by example. People can see what you do and say, wow, okay, that's not so hard. That's not so bad. And you're not saying no to hurt anybody's feelings. You're not saying no to shut anybody down. You're not saying no because you don't want to help anybody. You're only saying no because you want to put you first, or you have something else going on. And that's absolutely okay. That is absolutely okay. Remember our go-to example. Many of you have ridden on a plane or watched a movie where a plane was involved. The flight attendant comes on and she tells you if the cabin loses air pressure, the oxygen mask will fall. Secure your mask first and then help others. Same is true in life. You cannot help anybody else if you haven't helped yourself. You can't help anybody else if you haven't taken care of you. Because at the same time, you'll be working on fumes. Now, if you were on the airplane, you will have to secure everybody else's mask first. What do you think happens to you? If the cabin is losing air pressure, you have everybody else put on their mask before you. What do you think happens? I won't even wait for you to answer. You will lose it. You will lose oxygen. You will eventually pass out. So you will no longer be of service to anybody else, not even to yourself, because you no longer have any oxygen and you can't do anything. You can't do anything. So with that being said, secure you first. Take care of you first. Lean into making sure that you are taking care of you. and then help others where you can and where you see fit. So this week, we're testing some of those goals. You don't have to test all of them. You can just test one this week. You can test the power of just saying no. You can test the power of saying no this week and just see how that goes over. You don't have to tell everybody no, and you don't have to say no out of malice. You can say no because you have other things going on, because you have something else to do. So you just can't show up. And that is absolutely okay. They will respect your no. May not like it, but they'll respect your no. Okay? So we're going to finish out this week with testing these boundaries. Testing them. And hopefully by next week or the week after, we begin to implement them slowly but surely. Implement those boundaries slowly but surely. Boundaries are not walls, right? Boundaries are not doors, right? Boundaries are what you put in place so that you can secure and take care of you. And the same goes for others. Boundaries can be modified. Boundaries can be moved around, right? But as long as you are taking care of you first, that's the ultimate goal. That is the ultimate goal, is you taking care of you first. So we're going to finish out this week. And please share in the comments. Whether you're watching the live or the replay, share in the comments. Let me know. What goals have you set? At least one. And which one of those goals are you testing the waters with? And then share with me what happens as you're testing the water with those goals. Just like those goals that you have that are boundaries, as you test the waters with one, right? You don't want to go all in because you might not be ready. You may not be ready to go all in with all of your boundaries. So we ease into that. And that's what I teach in my program. You ease into that. You ease into having your boundaries. You ease into being able to understand your own boundaries, being able to respect yourself and your own boundaries, so that when you are having your boundaries for other people, regardless of how they feel, you'll be okay. You'll be okay with it. Because sometimes we allow people to pull at our heartstrings, which is absolutely natural. It is natural for people to pull at our heartstrings and for us to follow suit. It is what it is, and we do that. However, in my program, we circumvent that. We don't hurt anybody's feelings. We don't shut anybody down. But what we do is we learn that no is a complete sentence. Okay? We learn that no is a complete sentence. It is 2 letters, 1 word, but it is an entire sentence. Then I show you how to establish healthy boundaries with your families. And that can be your spouse, your children, your siblings, your parents, your cousins, and or your friends and co-workers. The definition of families goes so deep, and family isn't always blood related. But I teach you how to establish healthy boundaries with your families. Healthy meaning that you're not causing any harm to anyone else. You're not causing any harm to yourself. You are not being malice in your decisions. You're just putting you first. And you're learning how to put you first. Okay? So in the Not Your Journey to Take Coaching program, I teach you that no is a complete sentence. I show you how to establish healthy boundaries with families, all while putting your needs first. So this week we are testing. We are testing some of those boundaries that we have set as goals. And again, I do not suggest that you go all in. I suggest that you use one of those boundaries that you set as a goal and test it out with different people. Test it out with different people. And let me know in the comments, how's it going? And if you haven't tried it, say you haven't tried it. And if you haven't, just tell me why. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. And what you can do, you can DM me and we can have a 30-minute strategy session so that we can discuss what does that mean to you about setting healthy boundaries Learning how to say no, all while putting your needs first. So you can shoot me a DM and we can have a 30-minute strategy session that's just to talk about that. And then we can talk about the program as well. And I know this is super early, and I want to thank all of you for joining me. Thank you for joining me for Not Your Journey to Take Early Morning Sip and Chat. My name is Keisha Mason Campbell. I am the author of Not Your Journey to Take. I teach women that no is a complete sentence, and I show them how to establish healthy boundaries with families, all while putting their needs first. I hope that you go about your day having a super fantastic day on purpose. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.